All right. In this session, we're going to show you how to look up customers. Um, and the easiest way to do that is right here from the customer lookup screen. And so it's on the main menu like everything else that you go to. And if you double click, it will take you here to the customer search screen. There will actually be a lot of different places in Infinity where you can look up a customer. You'll see something that'll say, customer search. You'll see some kind of buttons. So you can come to this screen and find the customer and have their information populated for the screen that you're on. So on here, let's say that we have a customer. His name is Rudy Testoon. First of all, you can look for customers under using all of these actually fields on this screen. So it helps you narrow things down. So you can search by name, by last name, first name. You have their phone number, social security. You can put their date of birth in here, driver's license, their customer number, address, employer, all of these things. And sometimes if you have a name that's common, you might want to just use a combination of these things just to narrow down that search. Because when you find it, you're going to see all the names. There's some names that are very common that if you have a large business, you can have, hundreds of people with that same name. So let's start here, and let's say I'm just going to put the customer's last name in here. And I'm going to run a search for you just on that one. And this is our test database, so there's going to be quite a few of those. So you can see here we have 20 of those. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to do a new search. What if I said, okay, we know that part of his last name, and I know the first letter of his first name is R. So doing that same search again, run inquiry, it narrows it down to just 2 people. Right, and so you can use that all along here with all these different things. A nice one to use is if you can get the customer's the number of his home address and just add that here. You don't have to put the street, you don't have to put anything else, but the number and the name or part of the name, and it'll really help narrow down that search. So I'm going to say that this is a customer, so now I'll show you how to look up some information on this screen. I'm going to go down here, or look up information on this customer. So I'm going to go down here, and this is going to take me to the credit information screen, which is really the home screen for all information about a particular customer. I'm going to go through some of the items on this screen. It is there's a lot of buttons here, and there's a lot behind all the buttons. I'm not going to show you all of them, but I'm just going to show you some key things. Some things you will have access to, some things you will not have access to. It depends on your position, how your access is set up at your company. So let's start right here. The first thing is obviously the customer's name, information, social, all those different things are going to be right here. If there is a co-borrower on the account, their information will be right here. This one does not have one. Down here, you're going to have the customer's employer information. This is where the customer works. And over here, next to that employer button, it says 1. That means we have one employer. So that if you click on that button, it will bring up more information on that employer. And if you had previous or more employers for that customer, it would show them all here. It would also show all the previous employers that we have there. And if you just highlight the employer on the right side of the screen, it will show you information on that employer. All right, let's go over to this side of the screen. It is going to have information, the customer's address. This address button right here will give you more detail on the address, and will show you additional addresses if we have it. This one says here we have one address for the customer, so if I click it, it's just going to show that one address. Okay. Personal references are going to be behind this screen. It says we have 2 personal references for that customer, and here they are highlighted. It'll show you the detail on that personal reference on the right side of the screen. And again, on all those screens that I just showed you, those 3 screens, including this one. If you want to add an additional reference, you just click New Reference. It'll pop up a new screen for you, and you can add an additional reference there. That will always be part of the customer's record. All right, you have email address, phone numbers, all the good things about this customer right in this area here. Down here, you're going to see the customer's history with you. It's going to tell you when the customer opened their account. It'll tell you what the customer's high balance was with you. If you give credit limits to your customers, you've got these two spaces here. The first one's auto limit. If you're using anything that calculates customer's high limit automatically, it would show here. And if you assign a high limit, it would show it right here on this one. Some people use a limit as to how much a customer can purchase without a down payment, and that would show right there. I'm going to show you the total sales the customer has made, merchandise sales with your company. This customer is a new customer, so they haven't made payments yet. But if they had made payments, it will show you how many payments or the total dollars the customers paid to you over their lifetime right here, as well as the sales will be the lifetime sales and a lifetime down payments right down here. Okay, it's going to show you what their present balance is today. If they had a deposit with you, it would show here. This customer shows that they have a receivable down payment with us of $315. Here, if there was a cancellation, there was a pending credit for the customer, it would show that right here. And if the customer wanted to come in and make a payoff today, they're going to pay the account early, and so they're going to get their finance charges and possibly credit insurance back that they have not used. It's going to show that to you right here. And so this customer, if they wanted to pay this $14.32 balance today, they would get discounts to take them down, and their payoff would be $1157.88. Down here, it's going to show you, over on this side, I should say, it's going to show you the customer's terms. This customer is paying $80 over 18 months, what their due date is, when their next due date is, and basically every due date will be on the first of the month after that. If they have any partial payments, in other words, they paid a portion of their payment, if they paid $120 this month, then it would have $40 in here as a partial payment for next month, since they paid more than their monthly payment. If they have any delinquent amount, it would show right here. Any late charges the customer owes would show here. If there were any fees, it would show here. And the total the customer is due today. This customer is not due till December 1st, so it doesn't show anything down here. If we had their FICO score, it would show it here, and the system will calculate a debt ratio on this customer, and it shows it right in here. Over here, it'll show some of the customer's payment history. So if they had any 10-day lates, it would show how many here, 30 days here, 60, and so on. Like a Experian or TransUnion report on this line above, since there's customers have many payments yet, it would show 24 months of how they paid. So every time you'd see a dot, that means they paid on time that month. A 1 means it was a 10-day late, a 330, 660, and so on. So it gives you a quick summary of how they're paying you. Okay, if we go up to the very top of the screen here, under Documents, you can see it says 5. That means a customer, you have 5 documents. If you click on that button, there's 5 documents that are being kept that are either captured by the system or were scanned into the system. And to see them, you can click on this arrow right here, and it will bring up that document. Infinity always keep anything that you scan in. We will keep it on the customer's account forever. So it's a real nice way to save some paper and have all that information on the customer. Right here, merchandise. If I click merchandise, it's going to show all the merchandise that that customer has purchased from us. If they were a long-time customer and made several purchases, you'd have a whole long list of items. This is great if they're have a service and they don't have their receipt, and they say, I bought a television from you, you can, bring it up and just search for that television. You can find it quickly without having to go find the proper receipt. You'll find that you'll get it right there. Right here it shows how many invoices the customer has made with you, so that's how many purchases, and they're right here, the invoices, and again, if I double click on it, it's going to bring that invoice up on one they bought. That's really what I'm going to show you on this screen. Oh, one more thing I want to point out. If the customer happens to have more than one account with you, Infinity is going to go out there and link those accounts together so one doesn't get lost. And where it says other accounts, right here, it would say, I don't remember exactly what it says, it would say maybe one other account, two other accounts. It'll tell you how many accounts that customer has, and so when they come in, you might want to ask to make a payment. Let's say maybe you might want to ask if they want to also make payments on their other accounts. If any of the accounts are delinquent, this button will light up in red. So gives you a little alert that you have something you need to pay attention there. That is, gives you some idea. There's more stuff on this screen, and we're not going to go through that now, but that gives you an idea how to look up a customer quickly using many different variables you can use to look up that customer and how to get information on that customer. I hope that was helpful.